Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Elite Zone, another great episode on another beautiful day. What we like to do here on this podcast, if you haven't heard it before, we like to help real estate agents build a better brand, become better at marketing their business, dominating in their local markets. And today, we're super excited because we've been on this visibility kick for a long time, talking about the importance of becoming visible, being everywhere buyers and sellers are searching. But today we're going to talk about AI and the scary it's going to take everybody's jobs and all of this stuff that we've been hearing. I get it, guys. It's scary. But you know what? It's all good because we're going to talk about what it changes and what it never will change. I've got my co-host Blake Ferretti here with me. Blake, how are you doing this morning?
Woo! I am doing good. It is a good Friday. It is sunny in San Diego, so we're doing good. How are you doing?
Oh man, I love living here. I've traveled all over the place, and San Diego's great. It really is. So I'm right there with you. I can't complain. However, look, if you're living in a place that doesn't have as I don't know, beautiful of weather,
Sun in January or
yeah,
February?
it's all good because we're gonna project that energy out there onto you.
Yes.
So even if you're in a snowy real estate market, hey, get out, put your boots on. I grew up in the Midwest, so I get it. And you, Blake, you're from Rhode Island, huh?
Yeah, East Coast.
East Coast, so we get it. All right, Blake, let's dive into this because we hear about this all the time, right? AI is everywhere. It's in search, it's in marketing, it's in the CRM, it's how buyers and sellers are searching for agents, pulling up ChatGPT instead of going to Google. And that's created a lot of mixed reactions from people. I hear it from agents that are excited, I hear from agents that are overwhelmed, I hear from them that are quietly wondering if this is something that they should be worried about. So we're not going to today's conversation isn't about hype. It's not about fear, and it's definitely not about replacing the real estate agent. I'm going to say this clearly: that
Yeah.
will never happen. Okay, because there's certain things that only humans can do. And look, according to NAR, 97% of buyers, they're using the internet during their home search. Over 70% of consumers are researching, what agent to use online before they reach out. So this is they're not going to portals to buy homes online. They're looking for you. They're looking for the human. But you need to learn to leverage AI in order to be the chosen agent, right? So it's not going to change the real estate agent. It's going to change how people choose who they trust, right?
Yes. Exactly. 100%.
Yeah. So the first thing, what is AI actually changing? So if I'm an agent, Blake, and I come up to you and I'm like, hey, I'm kind of freaked out. Like there's all these iBuyer platforms and these AI tools. And, what if, someday I'm not needed anymore? Like, is it going to erase my job? Like, what do you tell me? How do you, calm down, Max? That's not going to happen. How do you help me?
Yeah, so I always like to refer I think change in general, no matter what it is, can be a little nerve-wracking, right? I think as humans, we like our normal way that we go about things. We like the consistency, we like the structure. And with change, that obviously creates some sort of, fear of being
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
discomfort.
And
Yep.
yeah, and it's okay, right? So the thing AI is going to help agents and what it's already helping agents with is being able to do some of their processes and flows a little
Mhm.
faster, right? I know there's agents that listen that have been agents for 20 plus years when systems and automations and AI wasn't even a thing. They had to go
Right.
into their system manually click on every contact that they had, manually write an email to each person, not once, not twice, but multiple
Multiple
emails
times a day, all day.
all day.
Yep.
Making multiple phone calls or making multiple, someone says, hey, I'm interested in this property. They have to make sure they're available right in that moment to respond. If not, they could potentially lose that lead. So
Mhm.
the exciting thing about AI is it's going to now help with that flow, Meaning, so for just with our system alone that I could think of, someone comes on your website through your mobile app, you get a notification. Hey, someone that's been on your website already, they're back on your site. So
Mhm.
you get the automated alert to then now oh, okay, Johnny's looking at a property again.
Yeah.
This allows me to now have a better conversation when I call. Or, hey, AI is actually tracking this contact's behavior. They've been looking for properties that are 3 bed, 3 bath in
Yep.
this area. Maybe they changed their paved search. You get notified of that, and you get to see that in your system because of the AI. I mean, there's plenty of things, even just setting up like drip campaign emails where, it can be a little tedious at first because you're just
Mhm.
up where you're creating that campaign of, okay, when a new client comes in, what's that first message I want them to kind of read? Now, the
Yep.
AI with the AI text, you can say, hey, this is kind of what I want it to read. This is how I want it to sound. I want it to be everyone has different personalities. You could be professional. Maybe you want to throw some, funny jokes and put your personality into that.
Yeah, or your brand or whatever. Totally.
Exactly.
Yep.
So where you can help tell AI, this is what I want to say. This is how I want it to sound. Now create me that message. So
Yep.
it's not replacing what you're wanting to say, it's just helping you create it in a more concise, professional way that you can upload into your system. So now all that campaign that you just made, the moment they get added to it, it's doing it for you. And what that's going to help with is, of course, staying top of mind, which, as we know, especially in this real estate industry, staying top of mind is the most important thing
Everything.
to get business, to get repeat business, and to be that agent that someone's thinking about when they're ready to buy or sell. So there's so many things in regards to like a system with AI. And then you have the other hand where, as we preach, making sure you're consistent online on your socials, making sure you're consistent on your website with updating blogs or information about community areas. You go to ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, Claude. I mean, there's so many out there now.
Right.
But you can say, hey, all right, I want you to, I'm a real estate agent in San Diego, California. My target audience is whatever that is. I work with luxury buyers or sellers.
Yep.
I want to, expand. I haven't in the past, but I'm really wanting to work with first time home buyers, whatever that looks like. And you tell that and say, hey, now knowing all of this information about me, I want you to create me a, 2 week, and you can break it up however you want, 2 week content for my social profiles. So what I can post on my Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever platforms you use. And then you see what it populates. And for most of the time, it's gonna be stuff that you're like, "Oh, wait, I already knew this," but now it's put in a structure that I can actually use and implement,
Mhm.
and it makes it now easier to actually go ahead and make that post, make that caption, make those
Yep.
hashtags. So the whole purpose of the AI, especially in real estate, it definitely is not changing or taking over your job, but really leveraging to make your processes and flows in kind of like a free 24/7 assistant to do the back end work that is tedious. And you
Yep.
do the front end work of what you're good at, which is helping buyers and sellers.
Right. Which is, I mean, so and that's why I mean, we're at the precipice of something that is revolutionary, like the tractor, like the phone, like the internet, right? And so from everything that you just told me, kind of like what I'm hearing is AI helps process information faster,
Yep.
right? It identifies patterns at
Mm.
scale. So, if there's one person looking at a listing, cool. If there's 50 people looking at a listing, cool. AI is quick and smart, right? It automates the repetitive tasks, the things that take a long time for agents.
Yeah.
and it improves consistency, right? You're talking, you can train this thing to say, hey, look at my website, look at my documents. This is my brand. You can literally record, hey, I'm Max. I'm a real estate agent from San Diego. I'm kind of quirky. I've got a beachy kind of vibe. My brand colors are yellow, orange, like it's kind of like think California sun. You can literally train it to
Yeah.
talk like you, right? So it's not, of course, it's not perfect yet, but it's going to be, right? So it's that kind of stuff. And really, we hear agents, a big pain point is I don't want to, marketing is so stressful. It's so tedious. There's so much to do, right? Well, this is your opportunity, guys, to take all of that manual stuff that you either have to pay somebody else to do or you're doing it yourself, working 80-hour weeks trying to grind, right? And get that done. Well, and just to Blake, to your point, agents can go out and actually help people buy and sell homes. That's what
Yeah.
that's what they want to do. So that's the, you guys immediately, and not to mention what you said, but also drafting listing
Yeah.
descriptions,
Yes.
right? And creating marketing material. If go guys, go check out Design Studio. You can create marketing materials very quickly. It pulls in your colors, your logo, the listing description. If you want it, you can train that. It analyzes search behavior. We taught, everybody's, I want to rank top. I want to rank top on Google. Okay, well, it's not just Google anymore, though. It's your whole ecosystem. And
Mhm.
guess what? AI is the one analyzing that now. So it can analyze search behavior. It can sort and score your leads for you. So you don't have to look. When was the last time this person visited? Have they reached out? How many times have they gone to my site? How interested are they by their language? You know what I mean? It can do that. It can send follow-ups automatically for you. So you don't have to consistently check your phone and be all over your email. It can keep your online profiles accurate, local presence. Okay. I mean, so guys, like what we're trying to say is you should be like celebrating this. This isn't something to be afraid of. This is something to wholeheartedly dive into. And personally, um, I was working, personally, I was working at corporate marketing jobs and then I was freelancing on the side. When
Mhm.
AI came out, that's when I was able to quit my corporate job and scale my own business up
Yeah.
because it allowed me to start doing the work and strategy of a whole entire company of people. And so that like blew my mind. I wasn't thinking at all about, man, this is going to like make it hard to get a job later. So it's a mindset thing too where as an agent, you guys need to think, okay, how do I become the agent that knows how to leverage this to get
Mhm.
to the top? Because then when I have the opportunities to do the things that only agents as humans can do, you've
Yeah.
already chosen me. You've already found me, and I've already proved myself because you know me, you know my brand, I'm consistent, all of that stuff, right? So now we've done that. We talked about what AI can replace, Blake. What can't AI replace? What are the parts of real estate that AI is not going to be able to do for the agent?
Yeah, I mean, number one is creating a relationship. That is what agents are. They create relationships with buyers and sellers that become their clients, that become someone that trusts them to handle sometimes one of the biggest transactions in their life. AI, unfortunately, it will never be able to do that, right? It
Mhm.
is a person to person, you to me conversation where I'm investing my time to get to know you, to understand you and your needs and wants. And being that person that someone can rely on that's going to do the best that they can when it comes to their property, which gets into my next point of negotiating. AI
Yep.
is not gonna be able to go and negotiate with the seller or buyer's agent to try to get that best deal for either side. So, as far as, once again, being able to represent your client and then negotiate, AI can't do that and it won't be able to do that, right? Because there's a lot of tips and tricks in the back end that agents that have learned over the years that they understand the market change, understanding, where prices are, the interest rates are, that fluctuation. AI will never be able to do that. And
Mhm.
then, of course, the credibility, right?
Yep.
AI, it cites. It gives you information faster and it allows you to multiply your work, but it's
Mhm.
not necessarily like and that kind of comes in with the relationship where you're building this trust and this in-person credibility where clients are like, "Oh my god, I worked with this person. They're amazing at communicating. Their work ethic's unreal. They got me this deal. If I'm a seller, I g- got 20K over asking, or maybe
Yeah,
I'm a
right.
buyer and hey, I was able to get a seller's credit that I wasn't able to get with any other agent. Like they just create this trust and credibility that AI tools, as much as they help cite who's credible, they don't actually provide the credibility that the agents actually do.
Yep. Yeah, beautifully said. So, I mean, you know, I hear trust in there, right? They're not gonna trust the AI, they're gonna trust you. You're the one dealing with them, you're the agent. Local judgment, local areas, the differences, the little nuances, there. And then I don't know, probably the biggest thing that I think is emotional intelligence, right?
100%.
Because as a real estate agent, if you're talking to a client and they're having a bad day, you might have to be a therapist that day. You
Yeah.
might you might have to, help them throw a home staging part, like you never know, right? You might have to like do some serious psychological work with people because that's part of a relationship. Like buying a house isn't like buying sneakers. Somebody doesn't see shoes and they're like, "Yeah, I like those cool churches." No,
Yeah.
this is a long term. This is a relationship thing. Like I know people where you talk to them, they're like, "Yeah, like my real estate, I'll never work with anybody else. I love that person." You know what I mean? Like they've helped me so much, and I was so many roller coasters with getting pre-qualified for a loan and then bidding on the house, and then what about this and what about that, and is that the right community, and what do we do if this happened? Like it's really an emotional thing, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
lean into that because AI can't do that. So it's not logical, it's emotional, it's stressful, it's personal. Okay. And NAR, another little stat here, they also report that 86% of buyers say trust in their agent was the most important factor in their decision. So if you can get AI to make yourself more visible so buyers and sellers see you and you can start to build that trust, if you're not doing that, then what are you doing right now? Right?
Yeah. Yeah. You're behind.
You're
That's what.
behind. You're behind. And that's
You're
that's
behind.
why we're here to help you say, okay, if
Get
I
it.
haven't been adopting AI, if I've been pushing this off, I'm going to stop right now and I'm going to get on the train. Right?
Yeah.
So consumers, then let's talk about the consumer. How is the consumer already using AI? Well, it's not about necessarily using, you using AI as the agent. That's important, but it's also knowing that your buyers and sellers are. So when an agent says to me, I'm white glove. I don't need AI. I just, it's all, like that's just a fad. It's like, no, your potential clients are out there using it.
Yeah.
They're using it. So, you gotta look at what the consumer wants. So, how are buyers and sellers using AI right now to purchase homes or
Yeah,
sell?
so I think we've talked a lot about this too in our past episodes. So if you're just joining in, this is the first episode you're listening to, definitely go check out some of our previous episodes about visibility and AI. But the biggest thing is,
Mhm.
even if you're a referral, you still want to know about that referral. So if you were to refer an agent to me, I'm going to say, "Oh, awesome. That at least is one level of trust. Like, hey, I trust Max that he's
Yep,
going to refer someone. That's his recommendation."
yep,
That's the first layer. But then the second layer on that is going to say, "Okay, well, I still want to learn about this agent. What is it about them that they offer? What is
mhm,
it about them that they're going to be able to help my specific needs and
right,
what I'm looking for?" Right.
yep,
So, because someone might have referred them, but maybe they're not an agent that specializes in specific. Let's say I'm a veteran, right? I'm not a veteran. So thank you for all the men and women that
thank you
serve.
for your service, veterans, yeah,
But for this example, right? Like I want to make sure I'm working with an agent or even lender who is very knowledgeable in VA loans and
Yep.
understanding, the differences of seller credits and what that percentage looks like. The difference
Totally.
between, obviously for VAs, you put 0% down. Like, I want to make sure though, even if they're a referral, that they are going to be able to handle my situation that could be different than the person that referred. So one,
Yep.
I want to find that out. And then of course, too, I want to see, okay, yes, what does Google review say? Right? Like that's just one person that referred them. Is everyone else that worked with this person saying the exact same thing?
Yep.
Or is there, conflicting information out there about this person? Because once again, at the end of the day, when it comes to real estate, it really is huge investments that people are making, whether it's their first time buying a home. I mean, that's the American dream, right? Is being able to invest in real estate, being able to have properties, or maybe it's on the higher scale where you're doing investment properties, but you still want to make sure you're getting the best deal that you can for what you're investing in. So I think
Mhm.
in regards to consumers, buyers, sellers, investors, whoever it is, they still want to make sure the person that they're working with is trustworthy, credible, they have accurate information, they're active. I can visibly see they're active in the industry, they're involved, whether
Yep.
it's going to networking events or maybe it's them just doing other things on the side that I'm like, okay, they're legit. I
Yep.
want to right? Maybe it's their energy. Maybe they do videos on their socials and they are high energy and you can kind of feel their personality through those videos. Like,
Yes.
I'm willing to go talk to this person. I want to see what's up. So that I would say that's kind of how consumers are, searching for agents and kind of double checking what's being referred.
Absolutely. Now I am a elder millennial. I believe you are what, Gen Z?
We are at the beginning of Gen Z. I'm like, I just made the cut. I
You
just
just
made
made the cut. Okay, well, then this is perfect because I will guarantee you all millennials and Gen Z Google people when they meet them if it's a business thing, right? If it's a restaurant, if it's a website, if it's any sort of service, like
yeah,
even for like getting a donut, if I'm going to Google or ask ChatGPT, is it hey, is Doll Hut Donuts legit? I'm gonna do that, right? So
or what's the best donut that they have?
what's the best exactly. So, you better believe that somebody who's going to, have you represent them or and be a fiduciary for you, they're going to check you out, even if it is a referral, Blake, to your point. So, that's really, really important, and, like, over 60% of consumers are now saying AI-assisted search helps them make faster decisions. It also
Yeah,
learns about them. So, to your point with the VA thing, like,
yeah,
I've gone into my AI knows me so well that, like, I'll go in there, I'll see some marketing tool and I'll be like, "Hey, is, this service legit? Like, tell it to me straight. Don't give me the
yeah,
fluff." And then it'll be like, "Hey, Max, like, specifically for your business and what you do and your personality type and the things you struggle with, this
yeah,
is not gonna work because of boom, 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 boom. However, check out this one. The cost is" like, it's learning about people, analyzing their behavior, their wants, their needs, their goals, their dreams, and then suggest like this is a godsend for real estate agents. That's what you guys need to realize. Like this is gonna sell you for you. All you got to do is leverage it and be good at your jobs, and they can all do that. So I love that. I think that's really important. So I mean, I guess when we're talking about leveraging AI, when we say that, an agent might say, okay, but how do I do that? So let's get a little bit into the nuts and bolts of how they do it. I think personally, the first thing is do some research. Google, how can I leverage AI for real estate? Ask ChatGPT that. Find a coach, find a mentor, or call us, do a demo, check out
yeah,
Agent Elite. If nothing else, you hop on a call, you leave with a whole bunch of front-loaded value. If you
yeah,
work with us, great. But we are, like neck deep in this stuff right now because of how revolutionary and important it is. So lay me out a roadmap, Blake. I'm an agent. I don't do AI, but I really know that I need to. What do you tell me? How do I get started? What are we going to do?
Yeah. Before I get into that fun, I do want to just highlight too, because we were talking about like consumers searching and stuff. And you hit on something that really stuck with me, which is millennials and Gen Z. And of course, more generations to come with all the crazy names. But those are going to be the buyers and sellers, right? So,
Yeah.
like, we need to adjust to also these next generation of understanding how they were brought up. A lot of people, especially Gen Z and down, like, they were born into a society where it was
Yes.
computers. They
Yes.
had phones, right?
Yep.
So for them, they had social media. So that's where also too understanding, okay, the next generation I'm going to probably be working with, this is how they operate, this is how they search, and this is how they determine who they work with is another huge key aspect to understanding why it's so important to understand AI, why it's so
Yeah.
important to understand the ecosystem because it is what it is. People are active on socials, millennials, Gen Zs, they are, living through where they have it all access on the palm of their hands. So that's just one thing I just wanted to mention as well. But to the fun roadmap. So I love your kind of idea of just search of like, what is AI and how can it help my business? That's basic questions, right?
Basic. Yep.
And kind of give it some information about you. Hey, once again, I'm a real estate agent in whatever city that is. I want to target whatever that target audience is. I want to, be able to educate clients through my socials, through my website, through Google. What are great steps to take to be able to accomplish that, right? You're kind of asking it questions. Now, once it kind of gets to know you and who you are, your personality, how you like to speak, how you like to present your brand, and you can even go into the little aspects that you had mentioned earlier, of like even saying the color of your brand, like whatever that is, right? And then now you use the features of, because I know in chat it has like you can do deep research, you can do agent mode, you can even connect it to Canva. There's all different things that you can do. Now you tell it what to do. I want you to create me a 1 month content calendar, a post every 2 days. And I want you to focus on targeting first time home buyers, tips and tricks to help them when they're looking for a home, what those first steps are. Give the knowledge that you have, but then you tell AI to then do the back end, manual work that maybe you're like, this could take me, hours to do, but I'm going to give it to chat and it's going to take maybe 10, not even. So that's where I would start. Let AI learn who you are and then start giving it little tasks to do so it can learn what kind of tasks that you're wanting. And also, too, it's perfect at first. So you might say, I don't like that response at all, or I don't like this topic at all. I want you to adjust the topic to read more like this, or,
Yep.
that was great. Yeah. First time home buyers, first step. Maybe it didn't have, you should probably get pre approved. So you tell AI, hey, make sure you add in there, people need to get pre approved first.
Yeah, you
And then,
gotta train it. You gotta train it a little bit.
yeah.
It's not
But
perfect right off the bat.
once you do that, I'm telling you, I call it my 24/7 free assistant. It is amazing. So yeah, that's kind of how where I would start first. If you've never used it or you've kind of like maybe dabbled a little bit and you were like, this is a lot, that's what I would do first.
Love that, love that. Yeah, and I absolutely agree with you. That's, it's interesting to me, I've got, some clients that are adamantly against using like any sort of AI for their marketing text because they want it to be 100% natural. And I had a client say, "Man, like you really understand the business. The captions on social are great. Like you're spot on." And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, "That's all AI. The only difference is that I've trained it to recognize your brand and your
Yep.
speech patterns. I've given it when he sends emails to me, I bounce those down and I upload them, and I'm like, this is his
Yep.
natural language. Study that, look at their website. These are the terms that are nuanced in this business. So
Yeah.
it's not lumping it in with other generalized things. And the more you sharpen it, the more you train it, the better it gets. And so that's, but just like anything else, it's a little bit of work, right? It's not a complete and total press one button and everything is cool and we're all taking the yacht down to Cozumel because we're rich now, right? It is still work. You got to train these things. The
Yeah.
benefit is that it's a minute amount of work compared to what you would have to do without it, right?
Correct. Correct.
So, the long-term advantage here before we close it out, guys, like this isn't about tomorrow, it's about the next 5 years,
Yeah.
10 years. You're gonna look more established, you're gonna get found more often, you're going to build momentum, you're going to rely less on paid ads and paid marketing services and more on, organic if you really lean into this. And then if you do run paid ads, hey, guess what? AI is great for that too, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna avoid burnout. That's the biggest thing, chronic stress, the things that like quietly make life miserable for people, right? You're going to like the agents that don't stay reactive, that feel invisible, that chase leads instead of attracting them. You're working harder for the same results as you would get if you lean into this AI thing. So, yeah, and that's, like we always say, like the train isn't coming, it's already here, it's left the station. It's not going to replace you. We guarantee it. The future belongs to the agent that combines their human judgment and their local expertise with the AI and the smart systems, right?
100%.
Yep. So, what is the challenge for this week? I mean, I think, if it were up to me, I'd say do what Blake says and just go like just get on chat and
Yeah.
ask it. I'm a
Yeah.
real estate agent. How can you help me with my brand? You can if you're concerned about the legitimacy of it, ask it that.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't want to sound generic. Like I want to make sure you get me. How can I prompt you? How can I feed you information,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I would do, but, you tell them what's up, Blake, and then we'll get out of here.
I'm gonna agree with you. I think just get on Chat, Gemini, Perplexity, Claude, whatever service you want to use, and just put in, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is my goals, this is what I want to accomplish, and just start typing things out. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. You don't need to be all of a sudden creating all these posts and content and stuff.
Yep,
Just get comfortable. I think that's
yep.
the first step is if it's uncomfortable or you're kind of hesitant, test it out, right? As we said earlier, change can sometimes create fear and uncertainty. To get out of that, you just have to get comfortable with it. So I'm going to say, once again, the agents who win with AI, who I'm going to be honest, aren't necessarily the most technical, to be honest.
Right.
They're the ones who are wanting to stay visible. They want to be consistent and they understand that they still are going to stay human. So AI, once again, will not replace any of you agents. It's going to multiply you. So remember to adapt, get out of your comfort zone and try new things out.
I love that. That's perfect. Also, for God's sakes, go to agentelite.com/visible and grab the Visible Agent Guide. This is a roadmap to you becoming a more visible agent. And we literally lay it out step by step, backed up with proven data. And not because we're blowing smoke or we're guessing or we asked AI, because we've got, 15 years of doing this and trying this stuff, watching this stuff work. So definitely check that out. Follow the podcast Elite Zone. If you guys get, if you know an agent that's been talking to you about AI, tag them here, send them a link, share this with them, like, follow, subscribe, guys. This is only going to make you a sharper, better, more visible agent. So we appreciate you being here, Blake. As always, a pleasure. And we will see all of you guys next week. And until then, hop on chat, ask it some questions, and let's get moving, baby. We're out of here.
Woo, woo.